Greatest of all time is a title adorned by only a few in the world of sports. There can only be one GOAT. Rest of the others can either match the feats of these superhumans or surpass their achievements for the title to change head. There can never be two GOATs in a sport at a certain period of time. Muhammad Ali is the all-time great of boxing. Michael Jordan signifies the pinnacle in basketball. John Jones is the greatest to have ever encircled an MMA cage. Don Bradman's average of 99.94 has a godlike stature in cricket. The swing of Tiger Woods' golf stick has no parallels in the golf. Tom Brady is universally known as the greatest in NFL circles. A tennis racket is never that fiery in any hands other than Novak Djokovic's, and so on and so forth. Each sport has got a legend called its GOAT. Guinness Book of World Records recognized John Brzenk as the greatest arm wrestler of all time. With an astounding count of more than 500 national and international titles and an amazing feat of remaining undefeated for 25 years, John is in a league of his own. When there is a comparison between the best arm wrestlers on the planet, one tends to put John on one side of the table and all the other greats on the other side. In this line of all the greats in arm wrestling other than John, Devon Larratt is certainly in the forefront. In the past 4 years, Devon has defeated opponents from everywhere in the world, be it east or west, in a dominant fashion. With an intense attitude, die-hard fan following, and deep knowledge of the sport, Devon has promoted arm wrestling on a world level. His impact on the sport is nonetheless huge, if not greater than John himself. But is he really that far off to be called the GOAT of arm wrestling? The unofficial antonym of GOAT is Toad. If GOAT abbreviates greatest of all time, then Toad is terrible on any day. Devon came close to become GOAT 2 times, yet he remained so far in the end. His dream of becoming the undisputed champion of the world remained a dream at last, and he is searching for a potential wannabe in Brian Shaw to fulfill his discontented desire to beat Levan Saginashvili.
And welcome back to Brian Shaw's gym. All I will say at this time is rest in peace, Levan.
Devon's performance against Levan, both the times he faced him, was below average or pathetic for that matter if we go by the unnecessary hype he created around his delusion.
I'm going to beat you this time, Levan. I need to tell you that.
For all the trash talks and false promises to his fans, Devon couldn't even move Levan's hand from the center of the table. Levan pinned him 9 times out of 10, and every time it was so dominant that Devon couldn't even fathom the limits of the Georgian's insurmountable strength. It would have been a simple loss if Devon just left it then and there in Dubai.
Levan's incredible, okay? I now totally recognize that was my best. You know, I feel like I gave it my best. I think it would be silly for me to pursue it.
He turned it into an embarrassment by not only accepting the rematch, but building a false narrative around it of delusion and stridency.
And now my shape is climb to the top of the mountain. And on that mountain, there's a tree on top of the mountain. And I climb on top of that. And then way off in the distance, I see a star. And it's like 5 galaxies past the star. It's way, way far away. I'm not even the same species anymore, Levan.
I'm not even a human being anymore. I'm like a space alien. I'm like not even one person. I'm probably 1,000 people living in one body.
All of that just to achieve a perfect climax to a documentary. Pulling John is a perfect example of how a documentary should feature. John lost to Voivoda in the end, giving the whole narrative an anti-climax, which till date remained a classic for the arm wrestling community and a benchmark in the careers of Travis Bagent and Alexei Voivoda. After almost 2 decades, John took his revenge from Alexei and proved yet again that he is the only one to be called the GOAT of arm wrestling. John retains his larger-than-life stature even in defeats and never demeans or put down his adversaries before or after a match. Muhammad Ali was the GOAT not only in the ring, but his deeds outside the ring played a huge part in his greatness as well. There are so many other aspects at work in making a person greatest in the field of work he chooses other than just being good at it. Devon is a great arm wrestler, but to become the greatest of all time, he needs to take into consideration all these other aspects too. The very first being a few lessons in humility. If you like my content and love arm wrestling, then like, share and subscribe. Keep healthy, keep hustling. This is Nitin Vats signing off.